All right, well, welcome everybody to the Finance Garden podcast, the go-to podcast where we deep dive into the world of real estate and financing. We bring clarity and insight to help you navigate the journey towards homeownership and financial freedom. My name is Karen Gagliano, and I am here with industry experts, real estate agents extraordinaires, Mary St. George and Chantelle Kincaid from Keller Williams. Nice to see you both. Thank you for joining us.
You too.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. So we are going to be discussing VA loans, the benefits of them, the myths and what people think about them, and the misconceptions that many people have that we keep hearing out there on the streets. But before we get into that, we're going to address the elephant in the room. Well, it's actually it's a little bunny. It's Easter. So we wanted to put some, what are these?
Jelly beans.
Jelly beans in here. And if anybody wants to send us a message after the episode and guess how many jelly beans are in here, you will get a special prize. It will be something maybe like an Amazon gift card. So just gotta guess how many jelly beans are in there. It's our gift to you for paying attention. So in today's episode, we're shining a spotlight on a topic close to many of our hearts, but surrounded by many misconceptions: VA loans. So we have some real estate agents that are distinguished in the area, in this Finger Lakes area, and we are going to be debunking some myths of those VA loans. We're going to talk about eligibility and benefits to common misunderstandings that some real estate professionals hold. By the end of our conversation, we hope to transform your perspective on VA loans from skepticism to celebration, empowering our veterans with the knowledge they deserve. So grab a notepad and let's get started. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the understanding what a VA loan is. Obviously, VA, maybe you don't know, but it stands for Veterans Administration. And these are loans for veterans, whether active duty, reservists, and or
disabled, retired.
Disabled, retired. Yep. Anybody that had been in the military, served our country, they are eligible to receive many VA benefits, including health care and a lot of other things. But one major thing is the ability to get a mortgage, a home loan. And it is one way that we want to thank our veterans. They allow 100% financing. Now what that means is that if you find a home, let's say for $250,000, you don't have to put a down payment down, because the bank, the lender, will lend you 100% of the home's value. So that entire $250,000. They also have benefits of great rates, which we all know those can fluctuate, but they do have great rates. We have lower closing costs for our veterans. I know prime lending, we waive our processing fee, which is a good $1,300. Some banks do that just as a thank you.
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm. If you're a disabled vet and you are discharged and on disability due to your service, the financing fee for a VA loan is completely waived, which is nice. So that again lowers your payment, because usually what we do is for the VA, well, for anybody, if there's a financing fee, we can roll it into the loan amount. But in this case, we don't have to roll it in. So that's a nice benefit. So a lot of these things people just don't understand, especially if you're in this industry. So that's why we're here today, because we have chatter, and I wanted to bring the agents in that list homes and bring buyers out to homes, and they hear the chatter out there. So we've got some things to talk about as far as debunking some of these myths and making it okay to entertain a VA loan. So let's just talk about the very first one is that VA loans are more complicated and time consuming than conventional loans. This is something that I'd like you two to address. Is this something that you hear? Because we do hear it. I hear it.
You want to talk a little bit about it?
About the time period. So we do hear about it takes longer right? That is a common thing, a common misconception that we hear often, not just by buyers but by potential sellers and then fellow other people in the industry, I would say, that the VA process, the VA loan takes longer. It's not true, right?
Right, it is not true. It actually takes less amount of time. Some of the underwriting guidelines are very lenient. We understand. They understand that vets have been in service. There was a period of time where they didn't probably work because they were working for their country, so they may not have had the income over the past, or they may not have had the best credit because they weren't even around and in the country. So we do give a little bit of leeway. And what we also do is we, just with any other borrower, we pre-qualify them. So go ahead, Mary. I know that it's
So a lot of people, I think, have the misconception that you could just go get a VA loan. It doesn't matter whether you have a good job, doesn't matter whether you have good credit scores. And I think there's too many people in our industry that push away VA options. So if I have a client that comes together with a VA loan, it doesn't mean they're poor, it doesn't mean they need help, it just means they're taking advantage of a benefit that was given to them by the military for their time in service.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
And I've got family members, my father was a career lifetime Army person, and he bought homes with VA loans. My youngest son was in the military, Army, and he's now a professional, and he's purchased 3 homes now with a VA loan.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think that comes up too is that takes a long time, like you said. Their loans went through much easier, the VA loans.
Yep. They do not take any more time than a regular loan. Honestly, all loans, any loan could take time depending on the situation. Anything could come up. And the VA loan is just like every other loan. It's just that the government or the VA, the Veterans Administration is an arm of the federal government. They have to kind of watch over, foresee. They have guidelines, and as long as we meet those guidelines and the lenders follow them, which we have to by law, it can go off without a hitch. So thank you, Mary, for your father and your son and his service. Your mother?
My mother too, yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, whole family.
My brothers, yeah.
Oh,
my uncles, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to embrace that, and in this industry, I think we are in a very competitive market. So, you guys know, as real estate agents, you get all these offers on the table. What is the misconception like? Is it common that some real estate agents maybe that are looking at all of the different offers that they may have questions or concerns about a VA offer?
I think they immediately discount them. Like they don't even want their sellers to even look at them.
Oh gosh.
So to me, that bothers me probably really a lot because of my family, and thinking that, plus what reasons are they coming up with? And that's my concern. You just can't say no because you don't think it's a good loan.
Right.
You're a loan person, we're not.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So
right.
To me, if they're eligible to get a VA loan for $200,000, $300,000, whatever it happens to be, they're just as eligible as getting a conventional loan.
Yeah. Veterans have to qualify for these mortgages. So I know, some people, it could be a buyer, it could be a veteran that doesn't know this, but you have to actually have income and debt. You have to have credit. You have to have credit. You have to have income because you still have to be able to afford the payment. You can't just. If you're retired, that's okay. You have retirement income, but you have to have some income coming in. And I think maybe the general consensus is a veteran doesn't have a job or, doesn't have good credit. That is not the case, especially if they come to you to the table with a letter from the bank that says that they've been pre-approved, Yeah.
One of the other things that, often comes up is regarding appraisal. We've heard some things regarding it's tougher to get the appraisal done, or there's more red flags. Yeah, comes in too low. There's more red flags, but that's not true either. Correct?
Yeah. So Yeah, exactly. Like every loan has to have an appraiser go out, and the VA has their own appraisers. They just do. They have, a license, just like the state appraisers have to adhere to certain requirements and find the value of the home. And they just want to make sure that the house is safe. Yeah. Especially for vets. Some veterans are disabled, and we want to make sure that there's railings on the staircases. We want to make sure that there's no,
Peeling paint.
yeah, things like that, like peeling paint or windows that are cracked. Health and safety issues. If the foundation is cracking, if the floor is, has a hole in it, things like that. They could be a little conservative just on health and safety, but it's no different than other government loans.
FHA, USDA, yeah.
Yep. So there's a FHA's, the Federal Housing Administration, USDA's, the United States Department of Agriculture. All of these, what are the acronyms? There are so many of them.
Yes.
I know them. I just get tongue-tied with them.
And there's value in all the loan options, and disqualifying somebody that puts an offer in just based on that specific loan that they've qualified for because they're eligible for really is a disservice, not just for the seller, but it's to everybody. And specifically, we're talking about the VA loans, and these folks have put themselves in front for everybody, and so they totally deserve to have this as an option for them. So we should be embracing it
instead of putting them behind all the offers. They should be. They were in the front lines for us, and we should respect. And we do. It's not like we don't, but we want to just educate the general public and the industry professionals if they don't know that times have changed and times have improved, and we have technology and we have better ways to verify income and debt and assets to help. Which brings me to the other thing about VA loans. Do you guys get what is it? So lots of times I get borrowers that come to me and they say, "Oh, this VA loan, I don't need any money because it says 0 down." And do they come to you like that, or
No,
what do you say?
We tell them there's still closing costs. I mean, there's still taxes they have to pay in advance. There's still attorney fees.
None of those are specifically waived.
Right. But it's the down payment that they don't have to come up with, and it's for good reasons. Like, I know that the VA loans also go for investment properties too, and there's a cap that they have to meet, or that's available to them. So if they have this much on a mortgage here, they still have more money to put. That's kind of like
it's like an eligibility allowance.
Yes. Yeah.
And so
it's to help them. It's to help them. So once they get out of the military, they can maybe, we're all told all the time about investing in real estate. This gives them an option to invest in real estate and hopefully make their lives better. So it's, to me, VA loans are no different than a conventional loan.
Yep.
The only difference is you don't have to put the 20% down.
The other thing we were talking about is the qualifying. You still have to, like, I think I already mentioned that you have to have, debt and income. We have to qualify you. We have to make sure that you can afford that payment. The rules with the VA, generally speaking, they're a little bit more lenient on debt to income. But as long as you're within your means and you're okay and you feel comfortable and the bank feels comfortable, because we have an automated system that will say accept or approve eligible. And if we get those responses, and you feel comfortable, and we have to make sure that the borrower that's buying this house is okay with the payment. It's just like any other loan.
And most of the time too, we have the VA person already in process with their lender, the VA lender, whether it's you or somebody else that they're using already. So they're already on the start. They already know how much money they can spend. They already know how much money that they're guaranteed.
No, yeah, that's true.
And once the person closes, the seller's not under the gun for anything. They're done.
Yeah. And if for instance, like, there something did come back, like the railings or the windows need to, be sealed, or, GFI outlets. That can be negotiated between the seller and the buyer. If they come to terms with just fixing some minor things, that's, you just negotiate, and you as advocates for your,
Just like any other loan.
yeah, exactly.
It's all negotiating.
Mhm.
Just like the sellers don't, the one of the things is that is heard is that the sellers have to pay for the buyer's closing. That's all part of negotiating, the deal, just like with any other
They don't
loan.
have to, but
They
they
don't
can
have to.
volunteer to do stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's options.
Yep.
Yeah.
If there's anything that's like major mandatory, one nice thing that the VA loans have now, it was during COVID we had to stop that, and they just things got a little crazy during that era of our life that we want to put away for the rest of our life.
Yeah, I got COVID here, so yeah.
Oh my gosh. I gotta tell you something funny about that. COVID hair, that's so funny. So we have renovation loans. So so there's mandatory repair. So just like a government loan or any loan that says you got to fix that. That is, the window's wide open or something major. You would see something very major, and we as a bank don't feel comfortable lending a couple $100,000 if there's some issues like a crack in the window right there. but if the seller is not willing to do it, we have ways that we can wrap in the cost of those repairs to the loan, so that the buyer doesn't have to come up with that money out of their own pocket. We can lend it. So there's a solution, and it won't bother the seller anything at all. The seller gets what they want to get for the house, and we just move on. And when the loan closes, we add the cost of repairs to the loan, and the work gets done by contractors. So there's lots of solutions.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm concerned about too is like with VA loans right now, that VA loans, they can't pay for the buyer's agent commission.
Oh.
So that's something that probably will have to be negotiated with the sellers.
Yes.
Because they cannot pay for commissions as of right now.
So wait,
Right.
is that yet, or do we have to wait until the?
We have to wait till July.
July.
But even then, at that point, if that's what they say, then
The NRA, National Association of
Yeah,
Realtors.
yeah.
NAR, that's
Edit that part.
we all come with our guns now.
Sorry, the National Association of Realtors. They're really, if they approve it, that's what are they saying
The
now?
judge has to decide what.
Mhm.
But right now, VA, they can't. So if a veteran puts an offer and the seller does not want to pay the buyer's commission, it's like FSBO.
Oh, okay.
They won't pay.
Okay.
So it can't be in the
The agreement buyer,
the HUD agreement, whatever that is.
the settlement statement? The closing statement?
Yeah, it can't be,
Yeah,
the loan estimate.
it can't show commissions for the buyer,
Oh, okay.
that the
Okay.
buyer's paying the commission. So those are things that are gonna have to get worked out.
Mhm.
But I like to talk about them because hopefully they get worked out. Either
Right,
the VA changes what they do, or maybe it won't even come into fruition, but if it does,
Yeah.
I know, some of the loan companies are already thinking about what they're gonna have to do with first-time home
definitely.
buyers, veterans, whatever,
Yeah, that's gonna be something that will be most likely.
But nobody's gonna wanna pay, well, yeah, it's a whole other topic, with the
Yeah.
commissions.
Yeah.
But veterans, it's been bothering me for a long time whenever I hear anyone say that you don't wanna accept a veteran's VA loan. Really? Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we can get them through pretty quick.
Yeah. I would love to do statistics on that, because I've been doing this for several years, and every single VA loan that I have has gone so smoothly. Honestly, I've had some doozies of clients and issues and trying to resolve things, but I have not had any major issues with a VA loan. I've not had one. So it's that's just why we're talking about it. I really hope that we can pass this, just educate ourselves, educate people around you, because as I said and we said before, it's like times have changed, and we don't want to hear from our father's friend at the coffee shop. And then,
how things work.
yeah.
That's where they all learn
Yeah.
how things
Yeah, we were
work.
drinking coffee the other day. You know, my dad, he's got him and his buddies have retired like 30 years ago. Like, things have changed. So you want to talk to people that are today in it and, value other people's opinion. That's fine. But I think that if you can get to the bottom of it or find out the true facts around it, by coming to people that do know it and are in it every day, that we can make this, this more veterans' dreams become like a reality.
So if your agent's telling you no to veterans loans, don't believe them.
Come over here, okay? I will have, we will have their contact information at the bottom of this to call either one, Mary or Chantelle. They're a team that conquers the Fever Lakes region and any area. I'm sure you go above and beyond.
Yeah, and this area I think really touches home to the VA situation because we have a big VA center in Canandaigua.
And in Bath.
And both of those areas are surrounding, the areas that we live in and work in every day. And, we just see more and more people from that area, and needing VA assistance, wanting to get what they're eligible for, the VA loan. So
I think some of the younger people, though, that didn't have military in their families and there's no military bases around here anymore, they just think it's VA, whatever.
They don't know. They don't know. And what you don't know,
and we're trying to help people get into homes and feel comfortable where they're living and with their families and to be able to afford things and it's a huge achievement no matter if you're a veteran or you're a non-veteran, but we should all be treated equally and the lenders and the professionals have the rules and the guidelines, and if they're coming to you without a letter from the bank, obviously they need to be educated and but everybody does, a conventional buyer.
I mean, this is one of our biggest decisions of our life, right? Buying a home, purchasing a home is, for some people, the very biggest decision that they're going to make.
Oh, absolutely.
And it can affect you for several years, depending on how long you stay there. So, of course, it's a hot topic, and for the VA loans, it's important to have that.
Another thing that I think some of the training that goes on with agents too in the industry is that when we put a contract together, and I've done it too, but it's not usually with a VA loan or FHA. It's usually put the biggest numbers in there because the biggest numbers to the seller is going to open their eyes and whoa, yeah. So lots of times I think agents think because they can't put a number down there for down payment, you see that zero.
Right.
I think that's where they they're not going to like to see this because there's nothing
skin in the game.
Skin in the game, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that does weigh heavily in some decisions.
But that's the nature of the VA loan.
So to me, my response is that their skin in the game was when they were over in Afghanistan or Iraq.
That's right.
That's their skin in the game.
Oh, I know.
Right? So
and that's where, as the realtor, you have to take that opportunity to educate your seller why there's no deposit showing and what
down payment.
Yes.
Or down payment. Yeah.
Deposit. Now that's the other thing too. EMD.
Yes.
Do you want to see an EMD, right? I mean, no matter if you're a VA or you're
but you don't want to have to tell them that they need $50,000 when they don't.
Yes.
Because they're good for the loan. So. And they're looking for a home probably because they need a home.
Yeah.
And they're eligible, so they have both things met, and that should be what the seller's happy about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the town too, I'm just thinking of when you do own a home as a veteran, you do get benefits too. I mean, there's just so many. I mean, there's reasons why that they don't get taxed as much on the property taxes and stuff because maybe they are disabled vet or they are a veteran. These are things that they selflessly. We can talk all day about the veterans, but they selflessly did stuff for us. So it's like this is the least we can do. Okay.
I think part of it too is a payback for the fact that they really don't make a lot of money while they're in service, unless they're an officer, maybe. Then they make decent money, but they really don't.
That's true. So, any other things that like you can think of that come up in the, in the world of VA loans? I did touch on that they have to be eligible for it. So as a lender, we just can't just look at their VA card, and we just got to make sure that they're eligible. The VA has what they issue is something called a certificate of eligibility, and it says this is what your allowance is, and this is how much you can use of your allowance towards the purchase of a home. There's other allowances that they can get in this certificate of eligibility, but we have to just check and make sure that they have that. So when the vet comes to you with a VA pre-qualification letter, we've already done that due diligence. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Anything that?
I think everybody needs to understand that VA loans are good loans. If you're eligible for the loan, it's a good loan.
Yeah.
It's no different than, it is a government loan. It's no different than any other government loan.
To me, it's almost like saying, oh, well, you worked at Eastman Kodak, so you're not a good candidate, or versus you worked at Xerox, so you're a good candidate. The VA loan to me is a good loan. The government's guaranteeing it, and
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
the person can't get the loan unless they qualify.
And I take advantage of it. So, well, thank you so much. I really appreciated your time. So, just so that you know, here's the. You need to guess how many jelly beans are in here.
Want me to count them?
I know. Anybody that comes close to this number will get a gift card to Amazon. So make sure that you comment on Facebook or on Instagram with your number, and we'll reach out to you if you're the winner.
Yay.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.